There are dramas Hollywood never dared to whisper, and one of them belonged to the woman who made the whole world laugh. Lucille Ball, America's red-haired queen of comedy. She lit up screens, broke barriers, and turned laughter into an empire. But behind the glow of "Here's Lucy," behind the applause that echoed through living rooms across America, there was a secret. A story no one ever wrote. A connection no studio dared to acknowledge. A love that could have destroyed everything she built. Tonight, we open the curtain on the secret affair Hollywood tried to bury, the untold chapter in the life of the woman who made laughter immortal. By the late 1960s, Lucille Ball was untouchable, the undisputed queen of television. After I Love Lucy, she didn't just become a star. She became the definition of what television comedy could be. But greatness comes with a price. Her marriage to Desi Arnaz had ended in heartbreak and betrayal. He drank. He cheated. She forgave, until she couldn't anymore. When Here's Lucy began in 1968, Lucille promised herself one thing: no more love. No more pain. Work would be her sanctuary. Yet Hollywood has a way of testing even the strongest vows. It started quietly. Not with scandal, but with understanding. Between long hours on set, Lucille found herself confiding in someone, a man from the studio, younger, attentive, the kind of presence that felt safe after years of loneliness. They shared jokes, secrets, long nights of rehearsals that stretched far past midnight. Crew members noticed how her laughter changed around him, softer, more genuine, the kind that couldn't be scripted. One assistant claimed to have found a small note in her dressing room mirror that read, "You don't always have to be funny. You're already enough." She never revealed who wrote it. But she kept it until the day she died. By 1972, gossip began to circle the Desilu lot. Tabloids whispered that the queen of comedy had found love again. CBS executives panicked. They couldn't afford a scandal. They tightened her schedule, cut interviews, and reminded everyone, Lucille Ball doesn't date. She performs. To the world, she was a symbol of control. But those close to her saw a woman quietly at war with her own heart. When the story hit the magazines, Lucille didn't deny it. She didn't confirm it either. She simply smiled and said, "A lady never explains her laughter." But off camera, things began to shift. Her focus faltered. Her humor felt heavier. Some said she was in love. Others said she was haunted, torn between duty and desire. Then came 1972, the year of her skiing accident. She broke her leg, and for months could barely walk. The show continued filming, rewriting scripts around her injury. Her rumored companion visited often, quietly, after hours. But when the network found out, they transferred him to another project. Lucille never spoke to him again, not on set. Not after the show ended, just silence, the kind that feels like punishment. After the rumor faded, the loneliness stayed. Lucille Ball, the woman who built an empire from laughter, began to crumble behind the scenes. She worked harder, demanded perfection, rehearsed endlessly. But it wasn't for the show. It was her way of not thinking about what she'd lost. A co-star later said, when she laughed on set, it felt like she was trying to remember what joy used to sound like. In interviews, she brushed off questions about love with polished charm. "Darling," she said once, "love is for scripts. Not for people like me." At night, she'd stay late, walking through the empty studio where her voice once filled every corner. Sometimes, she'd pause by the old props from I Love Lucy, the couch, the coffee table, the hat she used in the famous grape-stomping scene, and just stare. "They all think Lucy's still here," she once told a friend, "but she left years ago." As the 1970s faded, so did her strength. Here's Lucy ended in 1974, closing the final chapter of her reign as the sitcom queen. She remained a legend, adored, respected, unchallenged. But privately, she was just a woman haunted by ghosts. In one rare interview, years later, she admitted, "I gave laughter to the world. I just forgot to save some for myself." Friends said she still kept that note on her mirror. Faded ink, yellowed paper. You're already enough. When she passed away in 1989, the news anchors called her a pioneer. The headlines read, "The woman who made America laugh." But what they didn't print was the truth, that the woman who gave us laughter spent her final years chasing silence. Behind the red hair and the perfect smile was a woman who carried a secret, a love never named, a connection never confessed, and a loneliness she turned into art. Hollywood never told her story, but maybe it doesn't need to. Because in every laugh she left behind, you can still hear the echo of a heart that once dared to love and never stopped breaking. She made the world laugh, while her own heart quietly fell apart.